All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and we feature a beer of the week. In today's episode, the juice is loose. We will be talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the latest Tim Burton film and the long-awaited sequel to Beetlejuice, starring Michael Keaton, Wynonna Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and Catherine O'Hara. But before we get to that, you already know, find us on any podcasting platform, social media platforms, Hops Geek News. Make it real simple. I am Matt. As always, with me is Lauren. And my beer of the week today is from Sycamore Brewing out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It is a pumpkin latte blonde. It is a blonde ale with coffee and spices. Now, fun fact of the day, folks. Did you know that if you say pumpkin latte blonde 3 times in a row, a girl in yoga pants will appear to tell you what she loves most about fall? Or fun fact,
Halloween decor, giant skeletons,
Yes.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
It might actually be me that appears in your mirror to tell you what I love. But that voice you hear is Lauren. So what's up? What are you drinking over there? After it took us an hour to figure out what was going on. And then I hit sleep on my computer. And then next thing you know, it came back and we couldn't hear each other for an hour. We were both very frustrated. We were about to cancel the show and hate each other forever. And then here we are.
It's because I said Beetlejuice 3 times right before we started recording. I am drinking a beer from Sideward Brewing called Citralora.
Oh, yeah, we can get that one. I've seen that one here at a, yeah.
What? That's
They had that one at that
crazy.
bottle shop that one day, yeah. You can only buy
awesome.
4-packs,
It's
though,
delicious.
but I do love Sideward.
I bought 2 4-packs. That's how much I loved it. I got it at the brewery last Friday, and this is one I had never seen before. And I asked the guy, and I'm pretty sure he said that was the first time they brewed it. I'm not certain, but it's delicious. It's definitely big on the Citra hops. It is I think it's a double New England. It tastes like a double New England. Oh, it just says IPA, but I love this brewery. Pairs deliciously well with buffalo boiled peanuts after going to yoga. Extra good after going to yoga. Our yoga studio is right across the street from Sideward. So a lot of times we go to yoga and then get a beer.
I'm a big fan of Sideward. Sideward is really good. That was like my favorite spot with their beers when I was there the one time I went there. Actually, I guess it's only been one time. But yeah, wicked big fan of that brewery. But folks, if this is your first time, we typically go into obviously the beer of the week. We talk about what we've maybe looked in or talk about some things that we might have messed up on. And then we talk about what we've been reading or watching, some news before our main topic. So, of course, we also want to plug the Hops Geek Booze for Haley, as September 30th is going to be the last day that you can register. If you want a medal, if you want a fancy little medal that will come in the mail to you, then by all means, please sign up because, yeah, you can run, walk, don't even do the 5K, just donate $40 if you want to go towards fighting pediatric cancer. Do that. It's for a good cause. And then if you do so, you will be automatically entered into our draw. One nice little name, and if your name's on it, guess what? You're going to win a nice little pack from us. So,
we don't know what it is yet because it depends on if you're a Patreon or not. Because if you're Patreon, you're already getting it, so then you're going to get something else.
That's true.
So it's a mystery. It's a mystery gift.
Ooh, I love mysteries. It's a mystery. What could it be? It's a mystery.
You don't even know.
I don't know. So yeah, that's what we got. Lauren, what else do we got?
So last week, one of our news or pieces of news was Agatha was going to drop 2 episodes and then every week until the Wednesday after Halloween. However, the schedule
listen to our podcast.
I don't know if they revised it. or if we messed up. But the last 2 episodes will now play the day before Halloween, which I'm very excited about, because if you watched it, I'm not going to say anything because Matt's only seen the first and we're not here to spoil Agatha. The second episode got creepy. So I feel like it's showing how creepy this show is going to be. They did market it like a Halloween show. So I'm very excited that we're going to get the last 2 episodes around Halloween time. I'm so excited. My mom even called me this morning. She's like, did you watch it? And then she had like a theory that I was like, I don't hate this theory. And then I thought about something from WandaVision. I'm like,
Whoa.
And her theory was that Deborah Jo Rupp is my Mephisto.
Oh,
That's not her theory, but but it
ah,
has something
I
to do with her that I was like,
I
and
actually
that's
saw
all I
some
will say.
theories that Aubrey Plaza is going to be playing Mephisto's daughter potentially. So start with the Mephisto rumors already, I guess, folks.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
They're fun. I'll allow it.
Let's do
My
it.
only other, not messed up on, but we looked into Deadpool and Wolverine is number 22 for all-time grossing movies now. It has surpassed Frozen.
Got legs, man. You can't
It
freeze
does,
it.
man.
It's
It
got
just
legs.
keeps. It's about to be on streaming though, so I'm not sure how much that's going to impact it. The next one to beat is Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom, but
God,
rated R movie beat out Frozen.
Yeah. And Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, October 1st, a little bit of news for you. It's going to be on Disney Plus. Nothing says happy Halloween, kids, like a nice handful of Deadpool and Wolverine for your children to watch. But anyways, of what we've been reading or watching, yeah, I watched the first episode of Agatha. I really enjoyed the vibe so far. It was driving me nuts with Catherine Hahn's like the voice she was doing for the cop, but I know it was like a whole shtick because she didn't remember. But it was driving me nuts just the way she was talking for some reason. But overall, really, really strong, good start to the season. We'll probably talk more about it next week or this week, whatever you're listening to this. We'll probably do some Cantina hours on post-show recaps. Aside from that, I have read some things such as The Moon is Following Us, which is from Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rossimo from Image Comics. This was really a creepy fantasy adventure. These parents have lost their child, their 9-year-old, and Penny is the name. And so the comic basically opens up there in this fantasy world. You get like this toad or frog that's smoking a cigarette. He's got like a little pirate bandana on. He's got a machine gun. He's badass. They're trying to storm into this kingdom. And then they basically have to buy something from this bat that has like 4 arms and really long legs. And you don't really know what they pay the bat with. It takes something from them. So I wonder if it's like their happiness.
Are you
or
high right now? What is happening?
No, that's his comic book, man. Yeah, it's like a look into. And so what it turns out essentially is that Penny and the parents, like, you're inside Penny's brain. So these are all creatures that Penny has made up because a child's mind is could be creepy at times. Their imagination runs wild in some creepy places sometimes. So there's this creature called the Cascade that has taken her. So the parents have hooked themselves up to her brain through these machines, and they go inside, and the mom gets wounded and they wake up, which is, if you get hurt in the dream world and die, then you're stuck there. But if you get hurt and then you wake up, it's not like Freddy Krueger in the sense that the wounds happen outside of the dream too, and you can get out, and then that's how you heal and rest up, and then you can go back and you're good as new.
Spoilers. I think that's our episode next week.
Yeah, it's really, really, a really good comic book. The Moon is Following Us, man. It's what would you do to save your child is basically the premise, but then also a child's brain could be such a creepy, scary place to be. So I highly, highly recommend you watch or read that. I also read Dazzler, which you as well
I read it. Yeah.
Written by Jason Lowe. What were your thoughts? I'm interested to see because there were some Taylor Swift vibes.
Oh, strong Taylor Swift. They weren't even subtle. And they even recognized it at the end. I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel like I was the target market. I felt like it was maybe for a younger audience. It's always hard to judge the first issues of comics because sometimes you can't really tell where they're going. They're definitely pushing the big prejudices towards the mutants, which is going on in a lot of the books right now. I'm seeing that in the Wolverine books too. It's not a great time to be a mutant.
Well, translates right to real life, unfortunately.
100%, and that always has in that regard. They've always done comparisons to discrimination with the mutants in real world. But it was very focused on the concert, and it was very focused on, I guess, positivity. And like, I'm all for being positive, but I'm not I'm not a let me say affirmations in the mirror type person. And I felt like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I felt like that's kind of where it was going. So I didn't really feel like I was the primary
girl power, man.
Sometimes
yeah.
Well, and you know what? That scene in Endgame, I actually loved that scene when all the girls got together. I know it got a lot of hate, it got a lot of cheese, but like that scene made me emotional. There's a lot of like girl power times, or dude, even when they were beating the shit out of Stormfront, I guess the girls really do get it done. I was like, like, and obviously they were making fun of that, and I still got emotional with that. And so I'm all for the girl power. And I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm 100% pro Taylor Swift. I will probably not read issue 2. And now if it starts going and people start talking about it and it evolves a little more,
Well, it's only 4
then
issues,
I might
so
pick it up again. Okay. So, well, then
it's
let me
just a
know how 2,
4-issue
3,
mini
and 4
run.
are.
Of course I will.
But,
I enjoyed it. I thought the colors were great. I mean, I do get what you're saying. It was very much like, I can do this kind of type. I think it was geared more towards like younger girl
I feel like it was for like
audience,
a
of
teenager
course.
girl. Yeah. I mean, I was
Right.
going to recommend Erica's daughter read it because she's big
Yeah.
into Taylor Swift.
My daughter would probably actually really like this comic book as well, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's actually gearing some stuff towards a younger audience is how you get comic book readers, right? That you got to introduce them sometime, and not everything can be blood, guts, Wolverine, revenge. So
not everything can be Wolverine. I know.
You can't have your kids reading bloody, gory, horrifying stuff all the time. So if you have some comic books that are geared lightheartedly towards with big messages still, dude, hell yeah. And Jason Lowe is such a good writer too. So I do recommend people check it out. Think about it for yourself. I watched episode 3 of Only Murders in the Building. I got halfway through episode 4, the newest episode or whatever we're on. I fell asleep. So I got to finish that.
I'm up to date. I watched it.
I
had to run 8 miles on the treadmill the other day, so I watched a lot of stuff.
See, that's fair. All of the TV shows out right now, like Agatha and everything, I got to watch with Carrie. So I want to watch.
Doesn't watch any. Well, actually, he wants to watch Penguin tonight. We're gonna watch Penguin together.
I want to watch Penguin, and a lot of the stuff like Carrie's like, I want to watch it too. I'm just not in the mood, or she doesn't want to watch it at that moment. But then she wants to watch a show called The Circle that Carrie and I are into. And I'm like, dude, I'm half in out. It's just like crappy TV. And I'm like, dude, just go ahead and watch it, because she wants to really watch that over these other things, which is fine. But there's just so much stuff to watch and not enough time in the evenings because I fall asleep on the couch. I can't help it. I get comfortable. Okay. You got to catch me in the middle of the day.
When I told Sean I would do the review for the first 3 episodes of The Boys on Nerd Initiative, Josh walked in and he caught me watching it. And I felt like I was like caught cheating, like, because it was like one of the few shows that we watched together.
It's
He's
worse
like,
than cheating.
But I did watch it again with him. I'm like, I have to write.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll gladly watch it again. I don't know. So I hopefully, well, of course, she works 12-hour shifts both days of the weekend. So I'm trying. Okay, we did watch Long Legs. Yeah. And Long Legs is the Nicolas Cage. It was good. It's slow burn. That's a slow burn. It's demonic.
Is it worth the payoff? I'm fine with a slow burn if it's worth it in the end.
I thought so, actually. I didn't think it was like the best horror, creepy thriller movie of all time. But I did really like it. I thought Nicolas Cage was actually really good and creepy in this role. You don't even see him all that much, honestly. Like, he's not even in it a whole lot. And the movie's only about an hour and a half long. But it feels, the pacing's good. I like the lead actress. You don't need much
longer for a horror movie.
I mean, you really don't, especially with the story they have to tell here. I really think that it's worth watching at least one time. And then I did watch Apartment 7A, which comes out on the 27th. My spoiler-free review is up on nerdinitiative.com. It is the prequel to Rosemary's Baby, which, if you remember, came out in 1968. Basically, this old couple or whatever. Yeah, this couple tricks this lady into having the devil's baby and stuff like that. So this is kind of a prequel to that. Same premise. This girl is a dancer. She gets hurt. And so it goes from there. Without spoiling too much, because I can't really say a lot, but I will say that it was another slow burn. And I thought it was pretty good. And it does a good job of tricking you into thinking it's another movie before reminding you what the genre of the film is. So that will be coming out this week on Paramount, actually. Highly recommend if you're looking for a good new horror movie to check that out. And then what we're going to talk about tonight, Beetlejuice. So that's what I've gotten into this week.
So my comic book that I reviewed this week was Wolverine Deep Cut.
If you guessed Wolverine, kids, come on down. Don't collect your prize because I'd be poor.
Spoilers, next week I will be reviewing Wolverine Revenge.
I'm very, very impressed the fact that there is a new Wolverine comic every week for you to even review. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like that kind of took off after the movie. It wasn't like that before. I mean, the first Wolverine issue I had reviewed for Nerd Initiative was one I'd been reading since 2020.
Yeah.
But then what's happened though then is Chris Claremont has been doing spin-offs. So this is his second spin-off from Uncanny X-Men. So this one is off, I think, issue 227, which came out in the 80s. And what it is during Uncanny X-Men, there are these side missions that Wolverine went on. And so this was issue 3. This one involves the Mordors, which have really cool powers, very unique powers. Sinister's behind all of it. And you thought it was
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for 50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play, like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses, too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
She was coming to ruin Logan's birthday again, but it was more than that. So it was like a twist to it. The last one he did was the Madripoor Nights. That was a lot of fun. So I'm loving it. And Chris Claremont, Claremont.
Come on, he's a staple.
I can't point the right way. Why can't I
It's
do
right
this?
behind
There
your
we go.
head, folks. We see it. Right behind
The
your head.
Wolverine
There you
behind
go.
me.
Just point right behind your head.
And,
There you go.
He's
See, look
gonna
at I
be
even got the brown suit Wolverine right here. Yeah.
I
See,
know.
got him
Clearly,
too.
I don't know how to do this. There you go.
Right.
So yeah, if you're not watching on the YouTube, then you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? We're
You're
trying
like,
to
what are
point
you
at our
talking about
posters.
pointing? Where are you
It's hard when
pointing
it's,
at?
like,
Yes,
back
we have X-Men behind us.
So another comic I read was Wolverine Donald Duck. What if Donald Duck became Wolverine? And so that was very cute. I got that one and I got Thor Donald and I read them with Logan. Logan never wants to read, so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna lay
Did
here
you
with
get them
you.
at
And
the
I'm gonna
comic
read.
shop?
Yeah. Well, my comic shop
Oh.
had ordered Wolverine Donald for me because they either ran out. I expected it to be in my book, so they ordered it for me because it was gone, and then they threw Thor Donald in there.
I didn't know that
For
came out.
me.
That would have been awesome.
I
I
didn't
need
ask
to go
that
see
one.
about picking that up.
I actually had written the article for Attractions Magazine months ago, and then we went to Europe, and I forgot about it. Then when I came back, I was like, oh. I wanted that. But it's very cute. It's based on Old Man Logan, and Donald is Donald, and Donald and Wolverine do have some similarities where they're both have anger
both
issues,
angry.
and they don't want anybody to think that they're good guys, yet they both seem to be adopting random children all the time. I mean,
That is-
Donald, not all the time. It's always Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but it was very cute. Hawkeye comes in, it's Mickey, and they do little nods to different stories. Like Grey Hulk shows up, and they taught, all of a sudden you see Donald with the eye patch, and like they do these little things. It's very cute. It's one issue and done. Thor Donald, same kind of thing where it's like one issue and done. This November we're going to be getting Minnie as Captain Marvel, and to jump ahead with a piece of our news, this January we're going to be getting Fantastic Four. With
What
Mickey.
if? Yes, I'm really excited for that one. I think it's cool. Goofy is obviously going to be Johnny Storm, which I think is going to be exciting. So I'm excited for
I
that
watched
one.
Civil War.
Ooh, what do you think about that?
It was a little scary. For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's not about the Civil War. It is about a potential future dystopian civil war in the States. I thought it was very interesting because obviously they're playing into some things that are real. That one guy who's actually married to Kirsten Dunst, because Kirsten Dunst is one of the main characters.
Yeah. Kind of
That one guy that was
American,
in Breaking Bad. Yeah, he plays such good creepy, and he was actually in our friend Justin's movie, and he played like a different character in that, and I was just like taken back because like he just looking at him creeps me out because he plays these creepy characters. And then in Justin's movie, I can't remember the name of it, I should look it up. He plays this character that's like an ass, and usually he's not an ass, he's a douche, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, there's a difference. I get you. Yeah, it's not even necessarily even about the Civil War, which a lot of people complained about, which if you watch the movie, that's fine. Because if you get into the weeds of an actual Americans, the Civil War is driving, but it's about journalism as a whole, right? Like Kirsten Dunst is losing her humanity essentially just to get that perfect shot, which then you see Kaylee Spaney's character as
she's like, you have to lose your humanity. Windfall was the movie that Jesse Plemons is his name. I do recommend the movie Windfall. I'd love to hear what other people think about it. It stars Jason Segel, Jesse Plemons, and
oh yeah. I remember you talking about now.
Girl.
Yeah.
But it goes where you don't expect it to go. But just to see him not playing this complete psychopath was like a change of pace and kind of nice to see. But yeah, Civil War was scary. I liked it. Who's the one dude? The other dude.
You talking about the
His
other
name was-
journalist?
yeah, Joel.
Yeah, I can't remember what others.
should
I
look
think
that
I've
up
seen
right
him
now.
before, but yeah, no, Joel was great. It kind of got weird at some points, I will say, just because it felt like he was hitting on Kaylee Spaney's character when she felt like
The little
really
girl.
young.
Yeah.
But in real life, she's like mid-20s, so I guess it's not that creepy, but she still looks, she's from Alien Romulus. If you guys haven't seen that yet, she's also in that. A bunch of other movies. Great actress.
Wagner Mora. He's in something else. I'm pulling him up now. I wanted to pull him up while I was watching it, but I was on the treadmill and then I forgot.
That's
Okay,
fair.
he looks
Happens to me all the
familiar.
time. Yeah.
Oh, he's
no,
in Narcos.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. That's what he's in. I haven't seen
Oh,
Narcos, but I do know he was in that.
Narcos is really good.
Yeah. Good movie. I recommend people watching it. It's on streaming services now. I enjoyed it. I saw it in theaters because it was one of those movies I had to see. And so I was glad that I did. But did you watch?
Well, you guys were talking about it in the Discord. The only thing, Josh and I have been rewatching Sopranos, and I'm going to tell you what he said because you've never watched Sopranos. We're on like season 2 or 3, and he goes, "God, this show's so good. I can't believe there are people who have never seen it."
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't have time. Okay, nor do I really care.
It's so good.
Controversial opinion. I did.
Tim
Colin
hasn't watched
Farrell
it either. There's your
did
Tim
say-
Lee Stan
Colin
cameo.
Farrell
Tim Lee
said-
Stan cameo.
Once he gets when he grows up, that's when he'll catch up on Sopranos or Breaking Bad and stuff, and I can relate. So going into some news, Batman, because speaking of, Ewan McGregor got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I was like, I think you have to pay. So I did look into that. Yes, you have to pay $75,000. There's a service and all this other stuff.
That's crazy.
So it's not free. You have to pay and submit like a whole thing. It's crazy. They don't just honor you. You have to actually do it.
God, no wonder he's Pablo Escobar.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
but they put like a fat suit on him. That's why it was driving
power
me
of cinema.
crazy. That's so crazy because it looks nothing like him. Like he's cute. And like Pablo Escobar in the movie is not. Well, the real one's not either. Holy shit. Wow, that's crazy what they make him look like. Because it's his eyes. He has pretty eyes.
Yeah.
So it looked like in the eyes he looked familiar. Okay. I'm sorry. That just blew my
No.
freaking mind.
That's good. I'm glad we found it now. But yeah, speaking of, Batman's going to become the first superhero to get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I wonder which Bruce Wayne is going to be showing up. Is it Ben Affleck? Is it Christian Bale? Is it all of them? Is it Michael Keaton? It's probably only going to be Michael Keaton.
Maybe it's Jensen Ackles. He voiced
George
Batman.
Clooney. I hope it's George Clooney or Val Kilmer.
I hope it's Michael Keaton.
But yeah, speaking of Batman, we got some more Batman news.
Do we? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
We do.
So Barbie and Batman are teaming up for some Batman Barbies. So will Barbie be dressed as Harley Quinn or will Harley Quinn be dressed as Barbie?
So
Actually, I saw a picture.
Yeah, it's
look like
Poison
Margot
Ivy and
Robbie.
Harley Quinn. Yeah, and it's not the traditional Harley Quinn suit. It's the more sluttier version, I guess, if you want to call it that. For
I think
Barbies,
it's
I
cute.
was kind
It's
of
a Suicide Squad like one.
Yeah, it's that one, which I don't care, man. I just, if it's a Barbie doll, I figured they would have put her in like the traditional suit because it's for kids, but maybe that's just my
Is it
old
for
man
kids?
yelling at the sky. I don't know. Is it? Or is it, I play with Legos. I can't talk. Okay. I don't know. But you're excited for this news, which is that Dexter, the prequel series, will be coming out December 13th on Showtime. And thank God, Paramount Plus. I'm not going to watch it. I'll be honest with
will.
you. I know you will. So you'll be there to deliver. If
Yeah,
it's
I already
worth
told
watching
Sean
that.
I'll review it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I loved Dexter and I loved when they brought it back. I did not like either of the endings for both of them, but they were both enjoyable until the
I
ending. At least
can't
if this one's a
anything to the ending,
prequel.
right?
Well, I know that the ending will be good for the prequel because I assume it ends before the show starts and I liked the beginning of the show. So they can't
True,
ruin it for me
actually.
this time.
Yeah, that's what you
right?
think.
Let me knock on my wood.
Wonder if
Here's
Deb's
hoping.
coming back.
So, I'm sure. How can she not? So
Yeah.
Inside Out 2 will be on Disney Plus on September 25th.
Yeah,
Wait,
still haven't watched
so it's
that.
probably already no.
No.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
Nope,
I don't know.
not
what day
yet.
It is.
It will today when this comes out. It's the 23rd, so you still got a couple more days.
Happy
Now-
birthday, Erica, who doesn't listen to our podcast.
And she's one of our friends. Come on.
Oh, to listen to this one.
I know. The Nightmare Before Christmas will be coming back to theaters on October 11th. And then you know what else is coming back to theaters?
Back to the
Too
Future.
Fast, Too Jesus. We're getting a Passion of the Christ sequel, cuz.
Oh.
Forget about it, cuz. Yes, it's Too Passion, Too Christ is coming out. And I
That's
really
not what
hope
it's called. Please tell me that's not what it's called, because I'll believe anything nowadays.
it's actually the tagline is Ejectocito, cuz.
Oh God.
Yes, Jesus is back. He's got his revenge, and this is how the Easter is born. He's going to start hiding things all around to get to torture people's children, and that's
So
how
I
it's
think-
coming back.
For Easter, I want to make a sign that says "He has risen, baby girl." He just needs to, and then I'll maybe just a picture of Wolverine's abs.
it's Buddy Christ. He's back for revenge. He comes up to Judas. I'm not your guy, pal. I don't know how we're making a sequel to Passion of the Christ. Pretty sure it ended definitively. Jesus got killed. But how many comic book superheroes have died and they've come back? So I don't really.
What if he comes back as a zombie and then Sam and Dean are there? What's dead should stay dead. He's a revenant.
What does Jesus and Brad have in common? We've both risen, brother. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. But that douchebag Jim Caviezel or whatever is back playing Jesus, so it's probably him coming back at a Trump rally or some shit.
Is he in anything else at all? I did see Passion of the Christ when it came out. I don't know if I
did
saw the whole
too,
thing, but I do remember watching it.
But that guy, he's in stuff, but he's most recently in that one film that was like about human trafficking, but really was like some right-wing propaganda film.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So I could not care less. I don't really know. Anyways.
So Squid Game 2, December 26th.
That's right. Squid Game 2. Nothing says the transition from Happy Go Merry Christmas now that we're all broke. Good marketing strategy. Drop it the day after Christmas when every parent is poor from buying Christmas presents for their spoiled fucking kids. And then you get them thinking, like, I got to go and compete in the Squid Game so I can be rich.
Oh, so you can pay back your Christmas presents.
Yep. Pay off them credit card bills that you just put all your Christmas presents on because your kids wanted a PlayStation 5. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I will not be watching that. I only watched the reality one because my friend Chad was in it.
True.
So next Transformers movie will be a G.I. Joe crossover.
I'm excited for that one. It's going to make me feel like a kid again. Yeah.
So I didn't play with either as a kid, but it's still nostalgic.
Transformers, you don't have to play with the Transformers as a kid to still be like, this is badass, man. Transformers.
I really liked the first two movies. I remember like hearing like, oh, you should see the first Transformer movie. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, wow, these are really good. Yeah, I even bought the first one. And then it went downhill.
They really squandered. Yeah, they squandered that. And then they squandered G.I. Joe with Channing Tatum because The Rock just... Channing Tatum as Duke was actually good, and they really squandered it because The Rock came in, and then The Rock just wanted to take over, so they killed Channing Tatum's Duke off, and The Rock took over, and The Rock does rock things. But anyways, speaking of directing and taking over, Tim Burton will be directing 4 episodes of season 2 of Wednesday. He is now Jenna Ortega's, director. They're tied together forever and always.
Do you know what you call slapping The Rock on the ass?
I don't know.
Hitting rock bottom.
Oh boy, that joke is rock bottom. All right. Yeah.
It's good.
I did see a trailer for this movie though. Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage will be starring in a movie on Amazon Prime called Brothers. It will also have Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, and Brendan Fraser. It comes out October 17th. The trailer looks great. It's like a modern day version of Twins almost. But it looks really funny.
I should have picked up on that.
Yeah, that's what I get the vibe for that. It's very different than Arnold and Danny, but they, Peter Dinklage's character is a convict essentially. And I don't know. It looked funny. It legitimately looked funny. So I hope that it is because I'm going to be watching it day one.
And on October 11th on Disney Plus, Sideshow Bob is getting a short called The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And he appears to be riding a rake.
Interesting. Why didn't they air October 15th? Because I heard that's the most wonderful day of the year because somebody's blessed you all with his presence. But anyways,
who's that?
I don't know. Let's go into Beetlejuice. We're going to go back. We're going to talk about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. We will return in one more second.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We're back. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Don't say it 3 times. Yes, we are back with Beetlejuice, the long-awaited sequel to the 1992 film starring Michael Keaton, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Wynonna Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega. And this movie actually is doing really well in the box office right now. Domestically, it's made $198 million. And then worldwide, it's at $76 million. So total right now, it's at $274, just about to hit $275 million worldwide. The budget,
everyone saw it the weekend it came out.
Yeah, like the budget really was low. So it's already, done really well.
Because it was a lot of
itself.
special effects or
actual
effects. It wasn't.
I think it was like 200 million, maybe. No, it was way less than 200 million. I'm sorry. I'm talking crazy now. But anyways, the special effects are the reason why it costs that much. And yes, it was. I liked it.
Well, and Jenna Ortega even made a comment how she was impressed with some of the special effects because it's not stuff she's used to because she's so young.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and also not for nothing, like a lot of Wynonna Ryder made that comment, I think, about how a lot of like
15 million was the budget.
15 million. That's what it was.
Oh, wait, no, that's Beetlejuice. I put in Beetlejuice, you son of a bitch.
Gotta say it 3 times.
Beetlejuice. Hey, last time I did that, your mic didn't work for an hour.
That's true. But however, Wynonna Ryder was like, these up and coming actresses and actors, they don't really watch movies like they used to. But Jenna Ortega really seems to be like a cinephile who really loves watching films, which is a good thing. And then,
budget was
so it's made its money back. The budget was only 100 million. I knew it was something in the
hundreds.
hundreds. That's right.
I have no idea how much movies cost, so I would have believed anything. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, special effects aren't cheap, but the storyline for this is after an unexpected family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter, Astrid, discovers the mysterious model of the town in the attic, and the portal to the afterlife is accidentally opened. With trouble brewing in both realms, it is only a matter of time until someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, and the mischievous demon returns to unleash its very own brand of mayhem. Now, did you know a little bit of trivia is that Tim Burton said that this film would only be made if Michael Keaton would return to reprise his role. And Michael Keaton actually said in March of 2014 that this is the only sequel that he has made or has interest in doing. So,
but he did Batman again after that.
Yeah, but obviously, I think he more meant like modern times. This is the only thing that would get him back, I'm pretty sure. But also, surprise, shout out, because Willem Dafoe was in this movie too. And so, before we really dive into it,
he was funny.
What are your quick thoughts before we kind of dive into some of the things that we really enjoyed or maybe did not enjoy?
I thought it was fun. I mean, it was a little different than the first one, but it kind of had the same kind of feel. I loved how they killed the dad because the dad is not a good person in real life. So
sorry, I did not mean to cut you off, but a lot of people initially I saw were mad about how they treated his death like a joke. And then when I saw the movie, I remembered why. It's because he may or may not be on certain registered lists, and that's why they treat it like a joke, because they're not going to mourn this guy who was so clearly pretty shitty in real life.
He's still alive. Why would they care if they? I mean, it's Beetlejuice.
He's still alive, yeah. And
the whole thing. Look at all the people in the waiting room and the different ways they died.
Well, I
Like,
don't
it was
think.
entertaining with how her dad died, being eaten by
Yeah,
piranhas.
yeah. I don't think people really realize the fact that the guy who plays Charles in real life is such a gross human being. I think that's kind of why.
I mean, he's gross in Ferris Bueller. Why is he obsessed with a teenage boy?
And clearly that never went away because in 2003 he got. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
No, it was fun. I like that this one was actually based on like during Halloween. I thought that was cool because we all consider Beetlejuice a Halloween movie, even though it has nothing to do with Halloween, honestly, in the first one. Like doesn't take place at all. Yeah, no, those are my overall thoughts. It was fun. It was nostalgic, but it wasn't overly nostalgic. It stood apart from the first one. I think it knew it couldn't compete with the first one, and
Right.
I think that they did a good job. I'm glad the sandworm came back.
Yes, I will say I think the first film was a lot, I guess, raunchier in kind of ways. Like Beetlejuice
Oh,
is more of like a
100%.
pervert.
I think they had to
They
make
dialed
him
that
more,
back.
more PC.
Well, I think I think it's. I was thinking about this. I want to say they kind of had to do that because it's a product of the times, right? Like the early '90s, you can kind of get away with that, whereas now, like that pervertedness, it just doesn't really work well
It's not as
in comedy
funny.
now.
Right.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
like when you
we're not.
understand where it's coming from and how fucked up it is, suddenly it's less funny.
It's real rapey, essentially. Yeah, that's not funny. It's not. I mean, especially of all the things that are happening in Hollywood, right? So it's just not funny.
And he
so
was still a pervert, but it was done differently.
Yeah, he's still obsessed with Lydia. Who Wynonna Ryder. She still looks good. Like she looked good in this film.
Just looks the same, man.
Yeah, she does. I thought Justin Theroux's character as Rory, as like her creepy, he just wanted the money. Essentially, he was a good like plot device for this, driving it, and he never believed that she can see ghosts and all that. I thought that was pretty hilarious. And then he gets killed too, or yeah, no, he didn't die, did he? Did he die?
No, he didn't die.
I forget what happened to him. No, he didn't die. Oh, they embarrassed. No, he did because Monica Bellucci,
they did the truth serum or whatever.
They did the
He made
truth
him
serum,
tell
and
the
then
truth.
he went off to get married before she disappeared. Because basically what happened is Monica Bellucci's character, which I didn't really think they needed her in this movie, but it's a way for Tim Burton to be like, "Hello, this is my girlfriend now."
Yeah, I didn't even think of that until Stacey actually mentioned in the Discord, and I was like,
yeah,
I guess she wasn't really. But I liked seeing origin for Beetlejuice and like the Black Plague and how he died. I did like that.
Yeah, that was cool. He basically gets married to Monica Bellucci's character, who's looking and needs to take his soul to have immortality, and then she kills him, or he kills himself, or something along those lines.
No, she kills him. Doesn't she poison him?
She poisoned him, but then he poisoned her, or he killed himself, or did something.
Right.
So
maybe we should see.
I don't know why. Geez, I think I need to see it. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time all of a sudden. Either ways, he dies. She gets mad because she didn't get a chance to take his soul, and so that's why when Danny DeVito's character in his brief appearance shows up, accidentally sets her loose, she's in pieces because he took an axe. So this is what happened. She poisons him, laughs about it. She's about to take a soul. He takes an axe and chops her up, so that way she dies before living forever and gaining that immortality. So what happens is, great review we have here, folks. But what happens is, obviously Danny DeVito's character breaks her out of a box, and so she's now on the loose, sucking souls, which just
it's like putting herself back together like Sally.
Yeah, but it's not really a plot device as needed, because if you just went with Beetlejuice trying to go after Lydia and then leading into the actual plot, which is Jenna Ortega's character feels lost. She's very estranged from Lydia and her
thinks
parents.
Her mom's full of shit.
Yeah, she doesn't believe that her mom.
She judges her mom for how she handled her dad's death, meaning Lydia's husband, but it sounded like they were estranged before his death, but she judges her mom for that because
he went down to Brazil and stuff.
Yeah, but they never found his body. So it's like oh my gosh, I'm going to keep doing this. Lydia was trying to move on, not doing very well, but her daughter had not moved on. And Astrid, yes, she was having troubles with that. She was judging her mom because her mom was trying to move on, and she thought her mom was full of shit when she said she could see dead people, because why can't you see dad then?
Yeah.
You can only haunt certain areas. You can't, like Beetle, like
they did they moved on
from the original movie.
The Alec Baldwin
and Gina Davis, Maitlands, the Maitlands.
They moved on, all that stuff,
but they couldn't leave the house while they were haunting. Same with Ashton's boyfriend, he couldn't leave the house. So the dad, if he were, which obviously he wasn't a ghost because he was working in the afterlife, but he would only have been able to haunt that area, most likely.
Yeah, exactly. It makes a lot of sense. And that brings us up to, the main storyline is essentially Astrid ends up meeting, Arthur Conti's character, Jeremy. And he seems like a nice kid. He actually looks like a younger, was it BJ Penn or whatever his name is from You, the character from You.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could see that a little bit.
Yeah, he looks like a younger version of him. It's the hair and like the pointy face, nose, whatever. Yeah. And
Did
so
you know
he
he
takes
was dead right away?
No. Okay. So I did not. I thought something was up when parents didn't show their
parents,
faces.
I knew the parents were dead right away. I didn't know.
I thought the parents would be dead. And so I was like, that's interesting. Carrie said that.
About his dead parents.
Well, Carrie was like, he's a bad guy. I was like, no way. But then I was like, I bet you he's dead. And turns out we were both right, because he is the bad guy. He's trying to come back to the real life. And so he takes Astrid down into the underworld to basically trick her into swapping souls so he can come back, because he murdered his parents one night.
Okay, for a second, I thought, okay, he's dead, but I thought he was still genuinely into her, because remember, Beetlejuice wanted to marry Lydia to become mortal again. But they didn't say anything about swapping souls at that point. They were actually in the land of the living, not in the afterlife. So I thought he was trying to do that.
That's what I thought too, but I guess there's more ways which the book comes back into play. And I thought that was good. That could have been the main story. We didn't, because again, Monica Bellusci's character really, Dolores, she didn't do anything to drive the plot other than introduce us to Willem Dafoe, who is an actor who played in a lot of cop movies. And that's his character in this.
He was fantastic.
He was great. He has part of his brain missing, like the cool effects on his head was pretty cool. And so I really liked how, his character was like this cop, even though he was supposed to be an actor, he's trying to get down and find her and Mr. Juice, and Beetlejuice is actually in charge of all the Bobs. It was cool seeing all the Bobs, and that one poor Bob, man, didn't deserve his fate of getting dead and killed. That was great.
Some commercial came on today and it had Bob in it, and Logan goes, "Oh, Bob's back. He's okay." Logan was so excited Bob was back.
Poor Bob. He didn't deserve his fate, man. But I gotta ask, okay, what is your thoughts on Michael Keaton? How do you feel about him coming back as Beetlejuice? Like, did he reprise his character well, or is it somebody he should have just, maybe we didn't need him coming back? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think that you couldn't have had this movie without him coming back.
Well, I'm saying, like,
I thought he nailed it. Yeah. And with the makeup, he looks like he barely aged. I loved the part where he was helping Wynonna Ryder, helping Lydia with the daughter. And then he like stamps the bad guy's like book. And he said something like, "You're shit out of luck," or "You're fucked," or something. I just laughing.
No, he said, that was funny. She goes, "All you need is one stamp." And then he says something, he goes, "You're fucked," stamps it. And then, yes, that was a really good, that was probably the best line in the movie. Absolute best line. Because if you stamp the passport, it seals it. And then, it says "You're fucked." And I was like, that was great. I was
surprised that, like, you saw him like straight up go to hell. Like, I mean, he fell into the flaming pits of hell. That was, But no, I really liked that part. I thought he was great. I thought he was consistent to his character, but they did it in a new, less inappropriate kind of way. And he's the one you have to have. You have to have him and Lydia. Good for him. Right. Look at this. Like, Harrison Ford's like 80, and like, it's so great to see them. And I truly think the more you work, like, the younger you stay.
Yeah, it's all about how active you are. Honestly, that's
genetics.
what get lucky and don't die young, first of all, or like have your body fail too early. That's a big part. But I also truly think the more active you are throughout your life and going into agingness, it really does keep you living for a long time. And that's my firm belief. But yeah, Michael Keaton is in mid 70s, so he's not moving around the way he would have as a Beetlejuice in the 90s.
Very high energy, though. I mean, he did. 35 years old.
And, 36? For somebody who's older, his voice still sounded, very similar and things like that.
Exactly
when people,
same,
when their voices change as you get older. So I thought that was really great. Again, Wynonna Ryder, I thought she was great. Catherine O'Hara also stole the show. She was this eccentric artist still, and I loved the whole like trying to take pictures of her grief and put the veil, and then she got the snakes to do something outside the grave, and that they weren't supposed to be fanged, and Jenna Ortega calls it out. She's like, "No, they're not fanged," and it turns out they're fanged, and that's how she accidentally dies. I thought that was amazing. And then Charles is running around because he got bitten in half by that shark. And so they have Charles in the movie, but it's not the voice, and it's also,
so he died in a plane crash? No, he survived the plane crash.
No. And then your father left me. Yeah,
it was like
divorcing you?
Animated.
Oh, honey, no. I see. That's my one complaint is I didn't like that animation. I feel like
I think they had to do that because they couldn't bring him back.
Well, exactly.
Oh God,
that was my other big complaint is I do feel like the art was kind of weird. But overall, I mean,
Tim Burton. The art's supposed to be weird.
Well, right. The sandworm came back. That was great. We got this cool like wedding sequence, which the father Damien, played by Bern Gorham, he's actually from The Dark Knight Rises and some other stuff. I thought he was kind of a fun comedic character. And dude, I would love to live in this town. It is the epitome of fall time, like the freaking small town Hallmark movie fall I'm talking about. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was nice and very spooky. And like I said, I love that it was Halloween. But yeah, Catherine O'Hara, to go to her, like I feel like she's more famous now than she was then. Because I feel like Schitt's Creek really, like a lot of people weren't aware of how big she was. Like she was a minor character in the first movie, and I like that she was a bigger character in this movie. And I also like that they bonded, that they were so close, and that she made comments of like, "Well, your mother treated me like that when she was younger." Also, I want to address the mom. That's not Lydia's mom. That's her stepmom. But Lydia's mom,
it's her stepmom,
not dead. And
she just did
that was the one thing. Like she's just not there. But like, they almost treat her like it's her actual mom in the movie, but like in the Broadway show, they have a whole song about dead mom. So obviously they pushed it a little further, but they kind of almost made it seem like the mom had to have been dead, the stepmom to have such a role. But her and Lydia, they grew closer together. They seemed like they had a really good relationship as adults, and I really liked that they did that.
Well, it's funny because
was a cool part of
I think they actually mentioned that, don't they? Is like when Lydia sells out to do her ghost show, that's when they kind of became closer. I think they make a reference to that in the movie, which I thought was really cool. And then finally, I do like their relationship, as all three of them actually bond pretty well. And then there's that really cool sequence where, you know, obviously Catherine O'Hara goes off to die, finds Charles as she moves on to, and then Astrid and Lydia.
Train.
Yeah, the Soul Train was awesome. I thought that was hilarious. Like the Soul Train, it's just like a bunch of, it's Soul Train, man. Like there's no other way to put it. It's the Soul Train. Like that was great. I thought the costume designs were still great, especially for being down in the underworld. A lot of the different dead and creatures and things like that still were pretty good. I don't really have many complaints other than, you know, Monica Bellucci's character was not necessary. Her whole storyline wasn't needed, but I do think that this is a worthy sequel to the famed original Beetlejuice. Like this,
yeah,
it holds up, man. It's not going to be as good as the first one because it's they rarely ever are, especially this far spaced apart. But if you think about it, this is it has the spirit, honestly, of Beetlejuice movie. And
pun?
Everybody seemed like they're having fun. Yes.
And I like that they gave a nod to the Maitlands. They explained where they were. They explained that they moved on. Like they didn't I hate in movies where they ignore something completely when like one line just would have made us all feel better. They do that in movie and TV, and it's always like,
no, there was what movie was it recently that came out and we're like, why didn't they make a nod? They didn't even have any Twisters. Yeah, Twisters. They didn't speak about Joe or any of them at all, which I thought was weird. And I kind of wish they, at least other than Dorothy showing up, I wish they would have had it. So I like the fact that you're right, because you kind of needed to. They were an integral part of the original movie. So why would you?
They were the main characters.
Exactly. Yeah. And you even got like the cool art piece with the little like claws and stuff. Like, seeing that
at Lydia at Ashford School. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you even saw it out front of the house, and then they were going to get married on Halloween. Lydia was, and she didn't want to get married at all. And it was a good movie. So what do you rate this movie out of 10?
Ooh,
it's tough.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 and the original 9 out of 10.
Honestly, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to go with. I was going to go about an 8, 7.58. I would probably say an 8, just because I walked away really enjoying this movie. It's one I'm going to watch again once it does drop on streaming. I think it's going to be a good,
Logan
1-2 punch. Yeah, my kids would not do well with this movie.
Logan really liked the first one. Very excited for the sandworm. He hated the baby. If the baby wasn't in it,
we didn't even talk about the baby. Well, oh my God, that thing was terrifying. Beetlejuice and Lydia had a baby. Obviously, it was, not real. But then Astrid, there's like this whole weird sequence. And
I was like, this is a really weird, it
was a weird
imagining
scene
of her future. At first, I was like, oh, this is sweet. They're really giving it closure. And then when they're in the hospital, I'm like, why is she giving birth in this giant room with like it's Star Wars or like a royal woman giving birth in the 1700s? Like, this is so fucking weird. And then she gives birth to this Beetlejuice baby. And I was like, oh, it's a nightmare.
And at that point, I was out. I was like, ugh, gross. That's terrifying. It was terrifying. The Beetlejuice baby was something.
Doesn't it even say mama?
I don't need to actually. Yeah, it was creepy. It was, but Overall, though, good movie. I liked it. If you've seen it, go ahead and let us know what you thought about the movie. And Lauren, why don't
You
go ahead
haven't
and
seen
tell-
it. I don't know why you're listening to
If
this.
you haven't seen it,
Sorry.
then maybe this is the deciding factor. I hope you do decide to go see it. Now that you know what's happened, some people like spoilers. I don't know what to
Now
tell
that you know that the kid's dead and the parents are dead and
Everybody, Zed's dead, baby.
she doesn't get married. Catherine O'Hara's dead.
Everyone's dead, man. That's just
And
the
there's a
way
creepy
it
ass
goes.
baby.
Speaking of dead and creepy things, what is our schedule coming up for the next about month or so of Halloween?
So next week we are going to be kicking off the official holiday season, the official extra spooky, because we've dabbled in spooky so far this month. We really have with Penguin, with Agatha,
toes.
with Beetlejuice. We've been dabbling. So next week we're going to kick it off with Nightmare on Elm Street. We will recap the movie. We will have some fun facts. Then we're going to give you our horror comics that we recommend so you can start to get ready for spooky season. Then we are going to dive into George Romero and we're going to talk about movies, special effects.
Father of Zombies.
I actually had that earlier, but I put it down because I need time because I want to properly research.
Oh
and
yeah,
prep
this is a deep dive. Yeah.
And then to make things extra spooky, we will be doing a comic book origin for Venom because Venom 3, The Last Dance, is coming out. Then we'll be wrapping up spooky season with Cryptids Part 2. That was a request from our Discord. We did a Cryptids episode last year. And we are going to be doing stuff we didn't do last year. I think last year we did Wendigo. We did a bunch of them. So far, I think we did Chupacabra last year too. But one of the requests we got was Chupacabra, Mothman, Melonheads. I don't know what the hell that is. I thought that was just.
I have no idea. I thought it was a candy too.
And Hodog. I don't know.
Hot
We're gonna find out what they are.
dogs.
But those are. If you have a cryptid you want us to add to the list, let us know and we will.
That's right. You can email us at hopsgeeknews@gmail.com. Or you can just slide into our DMs. You can hoot and holler at us. Join the Discord. Link is in our link tree for that. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's Halloween season. The decorations are up around our houses. We are live. We are here. The pumpkin beers are flowing. Hopefully you've had a great Oktoberfest season, but move on out Oktoberfest. It's time for pumpkin spice and spooky season. We will see you guys next week. Cheers.
The content you are listening to is part of the Nerd Initiative Podcast Network. For more info about the home of pop culture positivity, check out nerdinitiative.com. The content you are listening to is part of the Nerd Initiative Podcast Network. For more info about the...
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe to toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Home of pop culture positivity. Be sure to check out nerdinitiative.com.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.